it is basically the process that one also takes, or what they consider the process that one takes into like shamanism, or even if you don't believe in shamanism, say you didn't do like all the rituals and stuff that shamanism people do with like the channeling and stuff. When people get to this accumulation point and they don't believe in like psychic stuff and spirits and whatnot, it'd be like Miranda and Chad getting called into ministry. They feel a need to help other people, you know what I mean? And then they would go to like what? College to go to ministry school and whatnot, you know what I mean? Which I guess you don't really have to do that to be a minister, I guess. Because like I that kind of shocks me that you don't. Because like Miranda and Chad, like they went 4 years just to be able to get their degree, and then basically their certificate for being able to be a minister. But apparently you can get that shit online in like a half hour.
That's an ordained minister.
Yeah, that's what they are.
Yeah, but like when you're trying to like get into churches and shit, and you're up against someone like that,
I think it would depend on like what your sermon would be like. You know what I mean?
Big, bro. Hard to imagine.
Like if you know how to study the Bible, and you study the Bible, and you can give a good, compelling fucking sermon that gets people like wanting to see. Compared to the person that has, a master's degree in it, but doesn't know how to get their words out right, So then in the shamanism one, they explain it better, like, because that's like the real, like, like how it really happened. Like if you actually take the time to quiet your mind. I just wonder, like, it's really, that's how these people end up, getting all the knowledge that they've gotten in the first place, that leads to, electricity and that kind of shit, right?
Yeah.
And they're not going to give us all the information because they're going to make us work,
Say she in love with me, but say you love, I just want your company. I fall in the club for free. I give out daps and them husband don't wants for me. Cause that type of shit don't faze a player. This type of shit is what make a hater. Hey, when you got it out the mud, yeah. Ran it up, yeah. Really don't get no fuck, yeah. Don't get no fuck when you turn nothing to something, yeah. Really hustling, yeah. Y'all getting that money, yeah. You getting that money, yeah. Rags to riches, 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 rags to riches.
Rescued, what has changed, and why should we be saved from nightmares? We're asking why this happens to us who have died to live. It's unfair. This is what it means to be whole. How it feels when the sacred is torn from the light.
Somebody sitting, another person laying on their lap, resting their head on one of their arms and their waist. They're consoling you. I see somebody running just as fast as they can. they're showing me like the outline of a person, like the chalk line, but then how like in motion, how you can kind of see multiples. So running, and it's like I've seen a triangle first, starting one line, going up, making another one, drawing it, and how that slowly becomes a star. Ripples.
I guess it really makes me wonder, like, even if Miranda and Chad didn't know about, like, witchcraft and everything like that, like, the way they always made it sound is that they couldn't hear God, you know? It was just a feeling. So that kind of means that, like, technically, I don't want to sound, like, egoistic, but I could probably do a better job at giving a sermon than him because I could talk to God or any of the gods there is, you know what I mean? It just depends on how much you want to put the time into it. The more you spend meditating and actually performing your healing, the more you receive. And, you know, maybe my calling was to help people with releasing their emotional trauma, but your calling is to create a new car, you know? Like, you don't have to go about it as in, like, the wounded healer being strictly, like, you have to go into service as a spiritual person. No, it's you choose to seek the betterment of those you have around you and yourself, or you choose to be the betterment for them, but in a bad kind of, I fuck you up on your path kind of way, you know? Wow, that just kind of made me think of the whole Medusa thing in a different way. The story that I listened to today about Medusa, she started out being beautiful, being the child of two gods, or two deities, right? And then she decides, even though, like, there's a ton of people trying to, like, ask for her hand in marriage and stuff, she decided, like, no, I really feel called to serve the goddess Athena, you know? But in order to serve that god and work in her temple and be a priestess for her, she had to be a virgin, right? And then she became, like, one of the most popular priestess there was, where the people actually were starting to come to the temples to see her specifically and not worship Athena, right? Athena was jealous, but she knew she couldn't really do anything to her priestess because it wasn't her fault that the people were doing that way. But this other god, I can't remember his name, he's like, I know, I can use this priestess, right? I can use this priestess to hurt Athena because I don't like Athena because she was voted in by the people to be the god that everybody worshipped in this area, right? And I wanted to be that person, and I can't be that person. So even though I can't punish this other god because I can't punish another god, I'm a god and we can't touch another god, I'm going to punish the priestess, which will in turn punish the god because it's degrading her temple, right? So then the priestess gets punished by this other god by getting raped, and then that whole raping, she would already be wounded right there, right? Not only by getting raped, but he raped her, which means she's no longer a virgin, which means she can no longer even be of service to the person she wanted to be of service to, right? So now she's shamed and she feels guilty that she can't serve the person she wants to serve because of that shame that goes along with the whole not being a virgin anymore, right? But then, not only that, but then the God actually punishes her. That the God that she had been serving punishes her, puts these fucking snakes on her hair, makes her turn these people to stone. So the person that had always wanted to serve and help other people now is disgraced and shamed, feeling guilty, but then also punished by that person that she had been serving, and now can no longer be of service in any shape or form because now she's hurting people when she never wanted to fucking hurt people in the first place. And then that brings on so much more shame that she just walls herself off for the longest time until she finally realizes that she doesn't need anybody else in front of her in order to be of service, that she can still worship within herself. And then therefore she restarts her priestessness by performing rituals and stuff for her goddamn self, basically trying to heal herself. And then it ends by saying, like, even though she gets killed in the end, her head was used to protect this guy's mother who killed her, right? He used this girl's head to protect his mother from this other god or this other king that wanted to take her as a wife, but he knew would mistreat her. And not only that, so she helped that person, but then her head was placed as a symbol of protection on all kinds of other armor, which gave people the confidence to go into battle knowing that they would be protected. Oh my god, like I just realized so many different fucking more lessons from that.
The story I know is a little different. It wasn't his mother, he was avenging his father. He used it to protect, to kill the god, the underworld god that killed his wife.
And the story that I heard, which was different from like all the movies and stuff I had seen, was that the guy that killed her was the son of Zeus and a king's daughter, right? The king was told by a priestess that if his daughter were to have a son, that son would grow up and kill him, right? So he locked his daughter in a tower, hoping that she would die by not giving her enough food and enough air to breathe, right? But he goes up and finally checks on her one time because he still hadn't had heard that she had died. So he goes up and he checks and realizes that she had given birth to a fucking son. And here, the god Zeus turned himself into gold and poured himself into the tower in order to have his way with her. And then the king, realizing that she had a son who was supposed to kill him, put her and the baby in a boat and sent them out. But so they're in the sea, but was protected by Zeus, and eventually landed on this one island that was not that far from Athena. And that island that was there was another king, and that king wanted to take the mom as a wife. But at that point, the kid had already grown up, and so the king knew that the king wanting to take that kid's mom as a wife, and knowing that he couldn't do that if that kid was around. So he said, okay, everybody in the kingdom has to bring me a gift, knowing that this kid is poor and didn't have a father and wouldn't be able to give him a gift. So the only way that this kid could save his mother from being the king's wife and obviously getting hurt was to go kill Medusa and bring her head back as a gift. Or else kill her, you know?
So yeah, it wasn't his father, I'm sorry, I think it was his mother. But the kid, yeah, it's still slightly different, but the movie Clash of the Titans, I think it is based off the Greek mythology reading.
See, I didn't even watch that one, but I watched,
That one's like...
I watched this show. I can't remember I just recently watched it, actually. And it wasn't Merlin. It was a different one. It was something about Atlantis, where this guy, he's just in like normal today and age, and then he goes into the ocean on a boat trip, but then his boat crashes and he gets sent into the ocean, and then he goes deep, deep down into the ocean and gets sent into this portal, basically. Yeah. And through the portal, he actually goes back into time. And the weirdest thing is he realizes that when he goes back into time that he is actually, like he was supposed to be from that time. Right. That he actually was put through the portal by Zeus to protect him from his mother, who was the daughter, who was the king's wife, right, and a daughter of a god or whatever. I don't know. Isn't that cool how, like, I didn't realize all the different lessons that could come out of Medusa? Holy fuck. Like, I was thinking of it in different ways.
That's the end of Medusa. There's way more before that. When she was Medusa, she ran for like 200 years.
That's what I'm saying. Like, she was alone. She had to send herself into isolation. I mean, I said it. Yeah. I just said it in a brief. Like, she sent herself into isolation, away from people, because she didn't want to hurt them. Right. Even though they kept coming, and she kept turning them into stone. Yeah. Until eventually she's like, yo, fuck it. I don't need people to be able to serve, you know, and I don't have to stand here alone doing nothing. Like, I can serve people while I'm in isolation. I can serve myself. By serving myself, you know what I mean? Maybe I can change my attitude so that when these people come after me, I give them a warning that I'm going to turn them into stone or something. You know what I mean? Like,